Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave away my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions.
What's going on, guys? Elisha here. Welcome back to Goal. How are you guys doing today? I don't think I've ever really asked that. How are you? Let me know. I care. How are you? Anyways, we are in the midst of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Finally, again, after 4 long years of waiting. Week 1, that were kind of later, that was Monday. I didn't talk about it in the last episode, so I'm going to talk about these, and also all of week 2. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening this week. Teams have been eliminated. Some have already moved on to the next round. I'm going to quickly go over all the scores, not really stay too much on those today. I kind of want to focus more on the table, kind of see where everybody stands. People are asking why this team got eliminated, why is that, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to kind of go over all of that, discuss it, get my thoughts on all that good stuff. So let's get right into this. First of all, let me know if you guys like this laptop skin. It's dope, isn't it? Cheese. Shout out Randy. All right, so first up, we have Sweden against South Korea. That ended in 1-0. Then Belgium against Panama ended 3-0. Belgium, I see you. Belgium. I'm telling y'all, man, Belgium is a force to be reckoned with. Don't sleep on Belgium. They're going to do some damage. There we have Tunisia against England. England started off a little bit wonky. These guys were obviously really stressed. Really young team, so you kind of expected that. They have this whole country and the media, all of that stuff going on over there with Sterling in them, and it's a lot of pressure for them, so they looked really nervous. Harry Kane, as always, like the captain that he is, cool, calm, and collected, scored 2 goals and won it for England. They're looking good. They're looking really good right now. I'm excited to see what they can do in the next round. Then we have Colombia against Japan. That ended in 2-1. And then Poland against Senegal. Senegal, I've said this, Senegal are probably the most fit team in this whole World Cup. These guys can run for days. They are strong. They have so much gas. Like, how many lungs do each of these players have? Pogba was talking about Kante having like 15 lungs. These guys each have a Kante. That's how much. They're never tired. They're probably tired. They're human, but they really don't show it. They're running up and down the field for the whole game, putting their all into it, playing with heart. And, kudos to them. These guys are definitely some of the fittest athletes like I've ever seen in the World Cup, period. All right, then we have Russia against Egypt, 3-1, which basically eliminated Egypt from the World Cup because they lost 2 games. If you win 2 games, you automatically make it to the second round. You lose 2 games, you're out, especially if it's back-to-back, automatically eliminated. You still got to play your 3rd game. All right, then we have Portugal against Morocco, which ended 1-0, and who else but Cristiano Ronaldo scoring early in the first half and won it for Portugal. So they had that 3-3 draw against Spain in the first game, and now they won theirs. So they have 4 points, and they haven't qualified to the knockout stage yet. I'm going to explain all of that later on. Let's move on. Uruguay against Saudi Arabia, 1-0. Iran versus Spain. Diego Costa's goal secured that win for Spain. Denmark versus Australia, 1-1. France versus Peru. Mbappe, youngest ever player for France to score in the World Cup, which helped France get that 1-0 win. Not really a convincing win. Peru put up a great fight. France wasn't bad, but again, not as strong as people were expecting. Now they've moved on to the next round, so it doesn't matter all the chatter, people saying they're overrated, blah, blah, blah. They got their spot in the next round. They could literally play their whole bench the next game and they're good. But we got to talk about this one for a second. Argentina against Croatia. Croatia running a riot, beating Argentina like a small child. My God. Messi was locked down the whole game. Even though this game, they didn't really use Messi. His teammates were not looking for, especially in the second half, Messi did not have the ball that much. The ball was a lot of the times on the left side. I don't know why. Dybala came on at one point, tried to do something. Not really much he could do, to be honest. Aguero, Higuain, those guys were useless. That whole team just cannot play together to save their lives. It's just a big mess. Icardi is somewhere vacationing with his family, just sipping that lemonade, that tea. he's sipping tea for sure, because he should have been on that field with these players struggling, right? But I feel like he would have helped them out a lot. But yeah, now Argentina are hanging on by a thread, facing elimination in the group stages, which is rough for Messi because this is probably his last World Cup. And who knows, he might just retire if he fails again. Whatever he does, whatever happens for Argentina, he might just retire from international football altogether. So this would suck if he went out in the group stage, but they have one game left. It's not yet over. And then you have Brazil versus Costa Rica. Brazil pretty much dominating during the whole game, but had to get 2 late goals from the magician Coutinho and Neymar to secure the win. Much better performance from Brazil, but you know, that midfield play, what everybody was expecting, that jogo bonito, you know, that fluidity that everybody's expecting from Brazil that we've seen in past World Cups is not quite there yet. I feel like it's still coming. I'm still hopeful that it's gonna come. Not just as a Brazil fan, but as a football fan, you want to see Brazil play beautiful. You know, it's in their identity. You want to see it. If you're neutral, you want to see it. But you know, we're really going to see what they can do when their back is against the wall. Neymar is definitely a big game player. He thrives under pressure. He's shown that multiple times, especially during that comeback against PSG when he was still at Barca. So this should definitely be interesting against Serbia. Speaking of which, we had Serbia against Switzerland. Switzerland won that 2-1. And then Nigeria against Iceland, which ended 2-0. Nigeria won that. And now Belgium, again, running riot against Tunisia. 5-2, crushing their opposition. Don't sleep on them. They might just eliminate your favorite team. So put some respect on Belgium. And then Mexico coming away with the win again to secure their spot in the next round. 2-1 against South Korea. Shout out to Son, who was obviously just ruined by the fact that he's eliminating now. And I heard this rumor that in South Korea, you have to serve like 2 years of military service or something and before you turn 28. And he hasn't done that yet, so he might have to cut his Tottenham career short to go back to South Korea and serve that 2 years. I don't know if it's true. Let me know if you heard anything about it. Fact check it for me. I might be wrong, but you know, the internet talks. And then we have Germany against Sweden. Now, why I put the accent on this one game, it's because of how it ended. Tony Kroos, Tony with a late free kick.
Royce is right there to touch it to him. Kroos will now fire up for him, he scores!
Like the most ridiculous free kick. Best goal in the World Cup by far right now. What? First of all, these Real Madrid players are killing it in the World Cup right now. They're really showing what being in one of the greatest clubs in the world, you know, it really has an effect on you. It's not just for that team. That was a little shade for Messi, you feel me? I love you, Messi, but... And then we have England against Panama. Now, if you thought England was nervous in the first game, forget about it. 6-1. 6-1. Don't give me, oh, it's just Panama. It's just this. No. 6-1 in the World Cup is 6-1 in the World Cup. Jay Lings, Sterling, John Stones got 2 goals. Whatever team you support, be scared of England. They're young. To be honest, I don't feel like they feel the pressure as much anymore, because when they're watching social media and they're seeing the fans' reaction to them scoring every time, they're seeing the support. The whole country had their backs turned against the team. Euros, they went out against Iceland. These guys are here to prove a point. We have Japan versus Senegal, which ended in 2-2. Both such hard-working teams. Japan came back. Senegal was leading 2-1 at one point. Honda scored the goal to equalize. And yeah, they had to share that point, but both teams hardworking all times. These guys just do not give up. They play really, really well. Not like the top teams in the world, and you see they don't have that many stars. Senegal has Mane and, you know, Koulibaly, who's kind of a big name, but not really. But these guys work so hard, and they play with so much heart. Like, that was a very entertaining game to watch because none of the teams let up at any point in the game. Any point, anybody, if you were caught slacking, any point in that game, you were getting scored on. And finally, we have Poland against Colombia. Colombia, who said, no, that L we took in the first game, that was just that, yo, that, that was nothing. Look at me now. Colombia said, look at me now. 3-0. Knocked Portland out of the World Cup. Unlucky. But yeah, for this week, those are all the games. Now let's look at the standings. First up in Group A, we have Russia at number 1. They won 2 games. So if you have 6 points, first of all, each win, right? Every time you win, you get 3 points. You get a draw, each team gets 1 point. You lose, that's obviously 0 points. So Russia won 2 back-to-back games, which means they automatically move to the knockout stages. That's the round of 16. That's when, you know, 1 game and that's it for you. Like, if you lose that 1 game, you're out. Or if the end of the game is a draw, then they go to extra time. If that extra time still ends in a draw, then they go to penalty kicks to decide it. But yeah, at number 2 in the group is Uruguay, who also won their 2 games, so they're automatically moved on to the next round. So these 2 teams on to the next round. The 2 bottom teams, Egypt and Saudi Arabia, pretty much don't even need to play their games. I don't even know if they're going to let them, because once 2 teams from a group move on to the next round, the other 2 teams are automatically out. So now let's get to Group B. Spain is at number 1 with 4 points because they, you know, drew to Portugal the first game and they won their next game. Portugal also has 2 points, but they're second right behind Spain. Iran has 3 points. Morocco has 0, which means Morocco is eliminated. Iran, Spain, and Portugal each still have a chance to qualify. 2 out of 3 of these teams are going to make it through. Now let's move on to Group C. We have France with their 6 points, which means also they've moved on to the next round. Denmark at second with 4 points. Australia has 1, and Peru has 0. So Peru is eliminated. And then we have Group D. Croatia won their 2 games, moving on to the next round. They're looking strong. But yeah, second is Nigeria with 3 points. Iceland is third with 1 point, and Argentina also has 1 point. Now, Argentina is going to play against Nigeria next. Now, Nigeria winning against Iceland was the best scenario for Argentina. Now, the perfect thing would have been if Iceland and Nigeria both shared the point, but that didn't happen. So if Argentina beat Nigeria next and Iceland lose to Croatia, then Argentina moves on. They're going to have 4 points, which is more than the other 2. They're moving on. Now, if Croatia wants, they could literally play their whole bench, have their team lose to Iceland, and Argentina's out. Now, Group E, we have Brazil on top with 4 points. They just won their last game and they drew the first one. Switzerland, same thing. Draw with Brazil in the first game, and then they won their game against Serbia. Serbia has 3 points, still has a chance to move on. You never know. So these 3 teams, you know, they need to be on top of their game during the next game to, you know, to move on to the knockout stage. And Costa Rica, obviously, with 0 points, eliminated. Now, Group F, you have Mexico. Who would have thought? Mexico on top, moved on to the knockout stage. They got their 6 points. Germany with 3 points, and Sweden with 3 points. South Korea is also eliminated because they lost 2 games. What I really care about in this World Cup is seeing some dope games. I just want to see beautiful football. I want to see entertaining games, and that's it. So second to last group, Group G, we have England on top, moved on to the next round. They won their 2 games. They got their 6 points. Also, Belgium won 2 games back-to-back. They got their 6 points. Tunisia and Panama are both eliminated. And last, but definitely not least, Group H, we have Japan on top with 4 points. Senegal also with 4 points, second place. Colombia, third place with 3 points. Poland, as I said before, eliminated. They're going home. Still have to play that 3rd game, which is so harsh. You still got to play. So you're kind of just like playing for pride. Like, you want to win that last game, even though you're not moving on, just kind of, you know, to give your fans a little something, to give yourself kind of a pat on the back, but it's not going to do much. It can eliminate another team. That's always fun. You're not making it, so you're going to drag another team with you. But yeah, that's where everybody stands right now in the World Cup. Excited is an understatement right now. I'm buzzing for the next week. Match day 3, some games from match day 2 are still left out, like 2 games. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to be happening in the next match. I'm seeing some strong teams moving off to the knockout stage. I just want that match day 3 to be over with. so, you know, we could get to the exciting stuff. That's when your heart really races, because these knockout games are no joke. You lose, you're out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the games of this week. I'm going to be seeing you guys right back here next week. Tune in. Make sure you're right back here. Share this with your friends, your family, anybody who's watching the World Cup, anybody who doesn't understand how these teams are getting eliminated, whatever. Send them here. Send them here. Let them know about God. Let them know about Elisha. All right? Let them know about me. Let them know this is where it's at. Nowhere else. Some other people, but you know, this right here is where it's at. All right? So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. And if you didn't, drop a dislike. But I want to see those comments. Let me know why in the comments below so that I can improve. Check out the music in the description. Check out the social media. The channel officially has a URL, definite URL. So I'm going to be pasting that in the comments below, actually in the description below, so that you guys can share it with your friends. And I'll see you guys next week on Goal. Peace.
Y'all together singing.
All right.
Look how
Let's get it.
far we come now.